and Media. I'm here in Houston at Breakbulk Americas, and with me in the studio is Martin Whitmer, who has just finished moderating our infrastructure panel that was absolutely fascinating. He covered a lot of ground on that one, right?
That's right.
All right, so tell me, what was your objective for this session?
The objective for this session was to demonstrate in three sectors what infrastructure spending would do to move freight in those sectors. So if you have a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, there's a lot of money for ports, there's a lot of money for airports, for rail, and others, and it's never been spent this level before. And so there is going to be an enormous emphasis on putting the money into areas where you get the most economic return. And so that is freight movement. That is reducing congestion, building out our ports and airports, and the intermodal systems that connect it all. So with $1.2 trillion, that's a lot to spend, and the panel was able to talk about how they would benefit from it, how their industries would benefit from it, from trucking to ports to rail. So it was a fascinating conversation, and everyone's eager to get the bill passed and ensure the money is spent in an appropriate manner.
Absolutely. So that vote, I believe you said, is tomorrow.
They're trying to get it tomorrow.
Yeah,
but the speaker has been very consistent in saying she won't bring it to the floor until she has the votes for it. So that's the one thing we're waiting on.
So ultimately, is it going to pass or not? What do you think?
I think it has to pass because after in about a week and a half, Congress goes out for like 2 weeks, and so they will lose an enormous amount of momentum that they have right now. Two, the president is putting a shoulder into it. Once a president starts engaging with Capitol Hill, things can work. And since he mainly has to negotiate with the Senate, and he's a former senator, he kind of is working on the home field advantage almost. So that's pretty much what it's going to take is presidential leadership, and either trying to find out if the speaker can contain the progressives, or is going to go around them. If she goes around them, she's going to have to work with the Republicans, and I don't know how that's going to go. There may be a couple of Republicans that vote for the bill 10 to 20, and that would potentially offset some of the more liberal members, but it's to be determined.
Right. Well, I know that as an industry, I'm certain everyone on this floor here is supportive of the bill in one form or another, right? I mean, it could have an enormous impact on our industry, the industries that were represented on your panel. But I thought it was interesting when Jeff Tucker, who we'll talk to shortly, said this is not a Democratic issue. This is not a Republican issue. Mm-hmm. Fixing our aging infrastructure is mom, dad, the kids, issue. It really does affect all of us.
It does, and in a beneficial way if done properly. It's making the investments in things to make freight move safer, more efficient, but also it allows for, like you discussed, the family. If you're in a minivan and you're next to a semi, no one wants to ever be in that position. So this infrastructure bill could fund what are called critical commerce corridors that physically separate all motor freight trucks from passengers. And so the interstate standards are built to withstand the heavy weight. Cars, if they're separated, it's not as much depth. So it can be a lot cheaper to build out new capacity for passenger traffic while having a segregated route for truck traffic from ports in and out. So these are the kind of things that it's going to take money and presidential leadership and an eager Congress and an aggressive Secretary of Transportation, and I think we have all of that ready to go.
Excellent. Well, that is good news, and we love hearing that from you. Thank you so much for leading this discussion today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.